What's up YouTube? Capital G here, talking Graydles in this video and asking the question to Konami, man, where's the Graydles at? Like, what exactly is the deal, Konami? Are they done or what? Because I don't think I've ever really seen anything like this. So there was the Breaker of Shadows thread on Pojo, and when the rarities got leaked, the thread really ignited like a freaking fire, and people were talking about, oh, this card's going to be so expensive, and I got to pick up copies of this, or I didn't think that card would be a super rare. That's kind of awesome. And I kind of just posted, I was like, so where are the rest of the Graydle cards at? Because I haven't really heard anybody talk about them. And people were like, oh yeah, Cap, Graydles are done. And I was like, wait, what? How can Graydles be done when they've only had one set and the archetype is not even 10 cards? And heck, one of the cards goes into the extra deck. So it's like that barely even counts. And I'm not oblivious to the fact that all archetypes are not created equal. Some archetypes, especially with the TCG exclusives, some archetypes end up being Cosmos, and then some of them end up being Kaijus. There are some that descend to the level that can win YCSs like Burning Abyss, and then there are some that are kind of obscure and they don't necessarily get the support that they deserve, and they never really take off like a deck like Noble Knights. And you've also got other archetypes that flourish because of like them having major roles in the animes, ones that people argue get too much support. The biggest offenders of this are probably Blackwings and Elemental Heroes. They're wildly popular, people like them, but you look at them and it's like, okay, 2016, why are we still getting Blackwing cards? I know that Crow's in the show and everything, but come on, man. You look at Heroes and it's like, did Elemental Heroes really need 3 different spin-offs and Mass Heroes, Evil Heroes, and Destiny Heroes? And then there are other archetypes that become very popular from the competitive standpoint. I'm not sure if they do appear in the show, but Konami will release cards for them in their respected era, and then they'll just be like, well, screw it, let's just give them a whole bunch of new cards. Examples of that are like Light 26 Samurai. Those are GX archetypes, and yet they've got synchros. So Konami kind of brought them into the new era and whatnot. But I don't think I've ever seen a time where, at least not in modern times, where you get a brand new archetype and then after that one set, they're pretty much done. And I guess it's my own fault for not even realizing, because I was kind of oblivious. Now, see, the thing is, usually when I'm on DN or whatever, and I may run into like one of the OCG decks, I'll be like, oh, okay, let me look at this archetype. I'll end up getting wrecked because I don't know what it does. And I'll look it up on Dueling Network, and well, I'll show you guys an example. Let me look up Magispectors, right? So you look up the archetype, and well, now that Dimension of Chaos is released, you see a lot of these cards, the ones that we have in the TCG, and then you'll see some of the OCG cards, and it's like, oh, okay, these are coming out, and maybe the next set, and then in Shining Victories, they'll probably announce a few more cards, and then they'll get added to DN. But with Graydles, you don't see any OCG cards, so it's like, I guess there really isn't going to be any more support, and there could be some in Shining Victories, but what sense would it make for Konami to release these guys in Dimension of Chaos, then skip a set, and then release more in Shining Victories? Like, it wouldn't even make any sense. And none of the characters in Arc V actually play Graydle, so it's not like they don't really have to go completely all in as far as like being invested in making more cards for the archetype. And it's just, I guess it's kind of unfortunate, for one, if you're a Graydle fan, or you have any aspirations, because I'm looking just for any type of anti-meta decks to play out of regionals that I've got in about a month. And I saw somebody hit top with like Graydle Kaiju at in like a regional in like Canada or something like that, and I was like, oh, okay, well, let me give this deck a whirl. And it's like, as good as the deck is now, unless they get something drastically off the ban list or whatever, I guess that's pretty much as good as it's going to get. And that's really a shame, because you can't give an archetype 4 main deck monsters and expect for it to be like successful. Like, that's ridiculous. I mean, hell, you can look up archetypes that have never been popular. I don't want people to say, well, what if Graydles weren't popular in the OCG? Well, I mean, when has that ever stopped Konami from giving more support to archetypes that like don't necessarily deserve? I mean, shit, you can look up Cloudians on Dueling Network, and I mean, damn, they've got pretty much almost twice as many cards as Graydles do. So it's like, I'm pretty sure that Cloudians, I mean, were they more popular than Graydles? Like, who knows? But I don't know. I find it funny. Like, what do you guys think of this? Because, you know, there have been a lot of archetypes released recently, especially like synchro based with frames ever since, you know, like Yang Zings and whatnot. And I thought that this was going to be kind of like one of the good synchro ones. And I guess Konami just doesn't have any plans on it. And it's a shame because within the last year and a half, Konami has done an excellent job. Well, basically since starting the Arc V era, they've done an excellent job of promoting Synchro, Fusion, and XC decks. Well, XCs were obvious, but they've done a really good job of promoting Synchro and Fusion decks. And I thought this was going to be another one, but I guess Graydles are basically done. I mean, if you can't really make the deck great now, it's just rest in pepperonis, because I guess it's just not going to get any better. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching as always.